Morning world, it's 9:35, 9:40 a.m. on the 10th of February 2015. It's Venus trine Jupiter today. It's a nice enough day, no big deal. Void moon in the morning from about, 4 a.m. through to about 9:30 a.m. tomorrow morning UK time. Again, no big deal. So I thought, well, it's quiet. Let's give you my take on the astrological ninth house, relating to the ninth sign being Sagittarius. Remember, planets in signs show how energy manifests in you. Planets in houses show how that energy manifesting through you develops itself into and onto the outside world. The ninth house is ruled by Jupiter because of its connection with Sagittarius, and as with everything Jupiterian, there is the capacity for larger than life situations, going and over the top. I mean, on the negative side, people with a lot of ninth house, they do tend to promise more than they deliver. They are a bit larger than life, OTT, overreaching, overstretching, overspending, overweight, overindulgent, over everything. They outreach themselves. There's often a conflict between what they believe and what they want to be true as opposed to the reality of the situation. Certainly there's a sense of over-optimism, there's a sense of windiness. Think of Jupiter, think of it, Jupiter's big, it's bigger than all the other planets put together, but it's made of hot air. You can't land on Jupiter, there's no surface. And it's just comprised of incredible gas storms going at thousands and thousands of miles an hour. So it's a little bit windy, it's a little bit full of hot air, and that fits the ninth house person very well, especially when there's a lot of difficultly challenged planets in the ninth house. The ninth house is the area that we associate at a more neutral level with words like religion, philosophy, belief systems, the way one chooses to believe and the way one is indoctrinated into believing. You can choose to believe, is my preferred direction, but some people do find that they get conned, indoctrinated, force-fed dogma in a way that removes their sense of free will and choice. And here you see the negative side of the ninth house once again with dogma. But the ninth house is also the area of truth related to Sagittarius and teaching. A lot of teachers will have a lot of planets in the ninth house, because it's about the spreading and the passing on of knowledge and education. And of course, the ninth house's most common attribute is that of travel. But it's not travel, here we come to the more positive side of the ninth house. It's not travel in terms of travel for holiday or beaches or for work or business deals. It's much more travel in terms of studying how other people live. People with a lot of ninth house, when they go travelling, they invariably go native really fast. There's a desire to immerse oneself in local culture and through a kind of osmosis get a taste of local ethnicity. Ninth house people are big travellers. And it's not, as I say, for beaches or parties, it's much more for anthropology and culture study and ethnicity. And as people get older, as they get into their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and so the capacity for travel slowly decreases. So these people tend to travel more and more with the mind, with the intellect, which is why so many people with a lot of ninth house planets do go on to take on higher education, whether it's a master's degree or a PhD. The ninth house is basically the area of truth, commitment, travel, higher education and belief. Obviously, planets in the ninth house will emphasise all of these qualities, but the aspects to those planets will determine how those beliefs, philosophies and travel options do actually manifest. For example, if someone has a retrograde Mercury in the ninth house, they're going to find that they're always going to critically examine all of their beliefs to make sure that they're actually valid. Someone with a strong, healthily aspected Saturn in the ninth house will be an advocate for truth and justice, whether it's through the law. A lot of lawyers, a lot of solicitors and barristers have a lot of ninth house, of course, because they search for the truth, they speak for truth, and the ninth house is associated with law and legal matters. With the sun in the ninth house and the moon in the ninth house, it's inevitably people who, at least at some stage in their life, will live for a few years outside of their country and residence. A challenged Venus or Mars in the ninth house will find it difficult to partner down for the long term unless they're with someone whose philosophies are as high-minded and altruistic as their own. It doesn't really matter what the planet is. The concept here is of philosophy, truth and belief. So check your own ninth house out in your horoscope, see what planets you got there, and ask yourself, how much do you believe in what you believe? Can you walk your talk? There you go, folks. There's my take on the ninth house. Enjoy.